Hey, Shalom, Yeshua, one of the souls, but give no praise to Yahweh, Shem, Yahshua, Shem, Rakak, double honors to the apostles of GMS and honesty brothers doing the work in truth, while sincerity. This one is it's a video on this article that's breaking news, 22nd April, 1518. So that was just over an hour ago, assuming that's GMT time. It says there is a price to be paid for threatening Israel. The defense minister warns Iran as tensions flare. Right, so we know there's going to be a conflict. In these last days, we know that something's going to happen. That's basically going to drag the world into World War III. Right, so this comes at the back of Iran basically saying, why are you hitting our airbase? So it's just tensions between Iran and Israel flared following an airstrike on Syria's T4 airbase in Homs province April 8. Iran and the Russian military accused Israel of being behind the attack, which according to Iranian news agencies claimed the lives of 7 of its military personnel. And I mean, here's the hypocrisy, because it says the attack was a blatant violation of international law, right? Because it only seems like other people in the world have to follow these rules and laws that are set up by these governments, by Israel, this and the other, whereas they can just break those laws themselves, right? They'll be like, you can't use it as against international law, and then they'll go around and break international law, right? It goes and it says here, we in line with Israel's narrative that Iran is trying to establish a serious military presence in Syria, the Israeli defense minister said that we will not allow for Syria to become a military base for Iran. Right, so you can really see, there's something going on there, but that's exactly what prophecy says. Is Jeremiah 49:20. Right, it says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, that he taketh against Edom, and his purpose that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Right, and that least of the flock is talking about Israel. Right, and they're going to do something stupid, like I said, rather as the scriptures said, prophecy said, and the apostles have broken down, their elders and they themselves, right? That's going to lead this world into a bigger conflict and ultimately our salvation, right? This is Joel 3:9 from the top. Says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, right? It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I am strong. Right, you've seen both those two things happen. You've seen major nations funnel money away from agriculture into into army, into building up their army presence, right, which is what this represents, plowshares and pruning hooks, right, being like agriculture instruments to swords and spears, which are army instruments. Right, it says let the weak say I am strong. Right, you've seen your small nations become big nations, right, in terms of military power. Right, it says assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Right, it says let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yehoshaphat, the valley of the Most High's judgment, right, which is over there, in the Middle East. Right, it says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Right, multitudes, so a lot of people, right, in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. Right, so basically it's going to be a war, and a lot of people are going to be, are going to be, put to death, a lot of men. Right, let me see, get this real quick. Right, I must get Isaiah 47. I'm going to start from verse 7. It says, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst thou remember the latter end of it. Right, it says, therefore hear now this, thou art that given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the children, the loss of children. It's talking about, that land then, but you sit at the top, come down and sit in the dance of Virgin Daughter of Babylon, basically America untouched, right? Because they've not had any military, and nothing's really happened to America. You have Pearl Harbor, but that was an inside job, not inside job. So like, they knew that was gonna happen, right? You had 9/11. That was an inside job. So really, America's not really been touched, right? In terms of a war, which is why people just people's here in London as well. It's like, yeah, whatever, Syria, it's all the way over there though. Right, but what's going to happen is, the war, they're going to start really feeling the effects of the war, right? As it says here, goes on to say in verse 9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments, right? So, a lot of these men are going to go to war, and they're not going to come back. Right, so they're gonna know widowhood. They're gonna know the loss of children, right? And you also have that in what do you call it? Bridegroom shall mourn. And was it Second Ezra? Is that the one? Yeah, the virgins. Yeah, that's the one. It says Second Ezra 16:33. Right, it says the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, and the women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Right? So, all of these guys, a lot of death has come upon the earth. Right? We know that it's going to have something to do with Israel and Iran. And, that's going to really be the catalyst, to World War III heating up. Because to be true, we've already started. World War III has already begun. Right? World War III has already begun. It's just, what happened in Syria last month, April. Well, not last month, but this month in April. About how, you had the US, UK, and France shooting missiles over there. That was the first time this, this proxy war has come really into, start becoming less of a proxy war and more of an actual war. Right? Because right now, Syria is just a battleground, a proxy battleground for Russia and America, right? You had that Russian ambassador to Jordan or one of those countries saying that they basically shoot down whoever shot at Syria, but then that never materialized. And they were talking big, but one of these days, Lord's will, soon. One of these days, one of these weeks, one of these months. Alright, the Lord's going to make this military conflict into something bigger. Alright, it's Ezekiel 38 from the top. Says, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Right, that's talking about what is modern day Russia today. Right, it says, I was talking about the Russians. It says, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Because ultimately, they're Edomites themselves. The Lord ain't down with, Edomites, he's down with Israel. Right, and all of this is to, bring about, judgment, so that, the kingdom of Israel can be established. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, right? And Persia is Iran, right? Like I said, so Iran's gonna have something to do with this, right? Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, Turkey, and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his band, and many people with thee. It says, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right, so that's why you're seeing Russia give Syria S-400s. Right, that's why you're seeing these certain military alliances taking place before our very eyes. Right, because the Lord is determined to basically bring about this war. Right. But yeah, it's just supposed to be a quick one. So until the next time, I'm gonna say Shalom.